The physical techniques that we learned just helped me feel like my testosterone was coursing through my veins. I felt like a teenage boy just bursting at the veins. Um, so that just made me feel, made me feel bigger, stronger, more masculine. Like I was just this beast that could not be stopped. But at the same time, having full control and full control over this beast energy that I've created, letting myself kind of surf with it instead of letting it kind of unleash, feeling like not only do I have this unstoppable force in me, but I'm in control of this force and I choose where I direct it. And the discipline of, having intention with where I direct my sexual energy, it's not easy, but it does build confidence because if you can stop the gates on that desire to just go nuts with your sexual energy, if you have the strength to hold it back, you have the strength to do anything. Because I think it's one of the hardest things to control the sexual energy. If you can control that, going to a workout, that's easy. Anything's easy if you can control that, because that's the hardest thing to control, at least for me, is keeping it reeled in.
Yeah, and you feel like you definitely have a higher level of control now.
Yes, yes. Just more awareness of unconsciously leaking sexual energy. Um, Now I notice right away, if my eyes start to avert to a certain, beautiful sight, I'm like, well, you're choosing to do this. At least be aware that you are starting to let your sexual energy, uh, get enlivened. Keep it under your control, though. Don't let it go too crazy. But it's okay to let the sexual energy get excited, but just maintaining the control has become easier.
I love that you use that surfing analogy with like this beast energy or this massive like sexual energy, especially as you're practicing semen retention and a lot of these practices, right? How has your relationship with porn shifted through
Mm.
the journey?
Through the course, what I loved learning is you don't just have to stop looking at porn. You have to replace it with something else. Start doing something else instead. Like when cigarette smokers start chewing gum or doing sunflower seeds, give yourself something else to do instead. So for me, it just started with masturbating without using porn and just touching myself. And I would sometimes even still think about pornographic thoughts. And then it shifted to, okay, let me think about just being with my partner and masturbating myself. So all in all, it just kind of took the pressure off of this whole pornography is the only way to get off, and finding
Mhm.
different ways to explore and feeling excited, when I do get with my girlfriend, feeling like I saved up all this energy for her. She can feel it. She loves it. So that felt good to kind of, as a gift to my partner, save up my energy so that she gets all of me.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you brought that piece in with like, yeah, focusing on replacing the pleasure of porn and ejaculatory orgasms with actually deeper pleasure, which initially it takes some time to like reprogram our neural pathways of pleasure, right? But would you say overall, like you said the desire for porn is like almost gone. Would you say that's because you've been experiencing so much more profound depths of pleasure with your partner and within your
Yes.
own self-exploration?
Yeah, because every time I'd used porn in the past, it just left me feeling not good afterward. I felt drained. I didn't feel
Mhm.
excited. But when I do something like this, using my meditation techniques, my breathing techniques, or with my partner, it feels good, like a job well done. And I don't know, something about it just feels better when I'm doing this more mindfully. I don't have that kind of empty feeling that I used to after just self pleasuring and ejaculating from pornography.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful, man. That's awesome that and it's been so cool to witness you like opening up these new channels through a lot of the tools and techniques and methodologies that we teach, to open up, yeah, new levels of orgasmic experience, that are much more subtle initially because, yeah, most of us are, like one analogy I hear or I've talked about with like pornography, it's like trying to drink water out of a fire hydrant.
Mm,
Like we're just blasted and
mm,
across the board in a lot of our culture with intensity is an addiction we all have, like whether it's high amounts of fat, sugar, sweeteners, pornography, just images and media, and like we're just constantly just being bombarded with so much stimulation.
Mm,
Really learning to hold our energy and not leak our energy all over the place, but to like hold it and develop these more subtle senses, as they unlock those more internal orgasmic states. That's it, bro. So yeah,
mm,
really celebrating you. And I love you how you mentioned meditation too, and how a lot of these practices are really merging meditation and sex, right? It's merging it's mindful sexuality. So that's awesome, bro. I love all those shares. I know we just have a few more minutes here, so I wanted to ask you one last question, and that was, if you were a brother who was either on the fence or, has just jumped in, who's just beginning this journey, what advice would you pass on to that man who's on the outside or just beginning?
yes. Yeah, if you're just getting into this whole realm of learning, my advice is it's not easy, but it's worth it. Uh, it's challenging to practice some of these disciplines every day and to just keep this mindset, this new way of being. It's not necessarily easy, but it does feel good. And a lot of times when we do these things that challenge us, we realize we're stronger than we thought because we can handle the challenge. So go in with an open mind. Uh, not everything resonates right away. So for me, some of the stuff didn't make sense at first, and I was just like, okay, I don't really get that, but I get this, and that makes sense. Let me just keep learning. And sometimes the stuff starts to soak in later. Some of it makes more sense now. Some of it makes more sense later. Stay open minded. Try it out. Try the humming and the moaning. Try it. It feels good. Once you can get over making a big sigh, if you can do that, you're golden. If you're too egotistical and you don't want to make a big sigh, you might struggle. But if you will allow yourself to moan and groan, you'll fucking love it because it's fun and it feels good. So if you're okay with allowing yourself to feel good, you'll enjoy it. If you don't want anyone to, if you want to stay closed down, you might feel uncomfortable because we get big and expansive and we get loud and proud. So if you like that, if you like being feeling that energy course, you'll like it. If you want that, even if it sounds a little scary, you're gonna love this course.
Mm, love that, bro. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Stepping into that BDE, that big energy. I love that you brought through the vibration. Yeah,
Mm,
100%. Like so much more energy
mm.
can circulate when we let out that and of course partners love it. Like, and we love, who doesn't love a really vocal partner? It's like giving immediate
Ah,
feedback, and it's keeping everybody present. And even in self-pleasure, right? It keeps us present.
mm,
But it's a feedback loop. It's an
mm.
echo chamber of what's happening inside that reverberates. So 100%, bro. That's some potent advice you're passing along. So thank you for that, man.
I
And
feel the energy coursing just from that subtle, little sigh. I'm already getting
I
razzed.
know I noticed your posture opening up into the smiling king, like we teach, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I
feel that
feel good.
one brother to another. And that's like, and that's what we're doing right in this space, is like sharing. I mean, they call it mirror neurons, right? But how there's like an energy that's created when we're witnessing one another and when we're giving each other permission to get fucking big and to get loud and to lay
Mm,
it all out there and to be vulnerable and to share our processes. And this is why, the group trainings and the one-on-one coaching are so potent, because this stuff that's usually just shoved into back closets and kept hidden or compartmentalized into these like really tiny little outlets of sexuality that are, we don't even realize are so limited because they've been programmed by just pornography. But when we're able to be witnessed and be big, I see just like the transformation that's brought for you, and all the ways that you've continued to show up into more of that BDE, that divine masculine energy. As you said in your testimonial, that like I feel like a sex god. It's taking up that space, and the feminine loves that, when we can lead. So I really honor you, brother, for your journey. Thank you so much for coming on here, sharing everything you have. I honor you so much, man, and it's been such a blessing to connect with you in this space. And I appreciate you and wish you all the best in all the journeys ahead.
mm. Yes, thank you, Ben. Thank you for holding the container, keeping this fire lit. So anyone who wants to come learn the sacred knowledge, you got the fire lit. You're here to learn with them. So thank you for just holding the container. Um, I know it can be exciting to learn about this wisdom, but to keep holding that space, to keep inviting brothers back, and to keep learning more and more. Thank you for keeping the container, brother. I love joining in, and I'm excited to continue to learn more with you.